What if I told you that the key to overcoming your emotions and letting go of someone wasn't about forcefully moving on, but about embracing timeless wisdom from one of history's greatest philosophers? Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, teaches us how to master our emotions, detach from the past, and regain control over our lives. Through the Stoic philosophy, we can find the strength to leave behind people, experiences, and emotional attachments that hold us back, so we can move forward with clarity and resilience. In this video, we'll explore 5 powerful Stoic rules that will help you let go of emotional baggage, reclaim your peace of mind, and grow into a more disciplined, resilient version of yourself. These Stoic principles will empower you to face challenges head-on, transform your mindset, and ultimately build a life rooted in self-discipline and emotional freedom. Principle 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. One of the core teachings of Stoicism, and a principle deeply embedded in Marcus Aurelius' writings, is the dichotomy of control. This concept is simple but incredibly powerful. Some things in life are within our control, and others are not. The trick lies in recognizing this distinction and letting go of what we cannot control. It's about freeing yourself from emotional burdens by focusing your energy where it counts, on the things that you can change. When you internalize this principle, you begin to notice how much unnecessary stress comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. We often waste energy worrying about external events, other people's opinions, or outcomes we can't predict. By doing so, we create a cycle of frustration and helplessness. Stoicism teaches us to break this cycle by shifting our focus to the only thing truly under our control: ourselves, our thoughts, our actions, and our responses. A key aspect of this principle is recognizing how much freedom lies in accepting reality as it is. When you resist what you cannot change, you create inner conflict, which only amplifies your suffering. Acceptance doesn't mean you approve of every situation. It means you acknowledge it and choose your response wisely. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself often that peace comes from within, not from external circumstances. By focusing on what is within your power, you free your mind to act with clarity and purpose. For example, think about a situation where someone hurts you, whether it's a friend, a partner, or a colleague. You can't control their actions, but you can control how you respond. Getting upset or holding on to resentment only drains your energy and prevents you from moving forward. Instead, focusing on emotional control and how you can choose your reactions allows you to release this emotional weight. This is what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." Another aspect of this principle is recognizing that acceptance is not the same as passivity. Accepting what you can't control doesn't mean giving up or becoming indifferent to life's challenges. On the contrary, it's about choosing to face reality with courage and clarity. It's about finding peace in the present moment, no matter how difficult it may seem, and focusing on the steps you can take to navigate through it. For instance, if you face a financial hardship, worrying endlessly about what happened in the past won't solve the issue. Accepting the reality of the situation and taking small, actionable steps toward improvement empowers you to regain control and build a better future. A very practical way to apply this principle in daily life is through self-reflection. Every day, take a moment to evaluate your emotions. What's something that upset you? Was it truly within your control? If not, let it go. Start small, acknowledging moments when you react emotionally to external events, and remind yourself that the only thing you truly control is your response. This act of mindful detachment will gradually build your mental resilience and help you let go of the emotional attachments that weigh you down. An excellent exercise to strengthen this mindset is journaling. Write down situations that caused you distress or frustration and categorize them. Were they within your control? If not, ask yourself, why am I allowing this to impact me emotionally? Over time, this practice will help you reframe your thoughts and reduce emotional reactivity. By documenting your experiences, you can track your progress and notice patterns in how you respond to life's challenges. This insight can be transformative, helping you develop a sense of calm and control over time. The dichotomy of control also teaches us the power of letting go. Often, we hold on to grudges, regrets, or fears, thinking that clinging to them somehow protects us. But in reality, this emotional baggage only weighs us down. Letting go of what you cannot control liberates your energy and attention, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. It's not about avoiding responsibility, but about directing your efforts where they can make a real difference. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself to accept what is beyond his control, and by doing so, he freed his mind from unnecessary worry. He found strength and freedom in this practice, as can we. Imagine the relief of no longer being consumed by concerns over things you cannot change, the opinions of others, the outcomes of uncontrollable events, or the passage of time. This shift in mindset creates space for growth, focus, and peace. This principle isn't just about emotional freedom, it's also a cornerstone of resilience. Accepting what you can't control helps you remain steady in the face of adversity, empowering you to face challenges with strength and clarity. It allows you to act decisively and wisely, unburdened by fear or frustration. By embracing this Stoic practice, you take a powerful step toward reclaiming your emotional well-being. The freedom and clarity that come from practicing this principle are life-changing. By focusing on what you can control, your actions, your mindset, and your choices, you unlock your true potential. No longer distracted by the uncontrollable, you can pour your energy into building a life aligned with your values and goals. By practicing this daily, you will find a deeper sense of peace and empowerment. Life's challenges won't disappear, but your ability to navigate them will grow exponentially. The Stoics understood that while we cannot control the wind, we can always adjust our sails. Let this principle guide you as you take control of your inner world, one choice at a time. Principle 2. Focus on your own actions and virtue. In the Stoic worldview, one of the most powerful ways to regain control over your emotions and develop self-discipline is by focusing on your own actions, not the reactions or behaviors of others. Marcus Aurelius taught that while you cannot control how people behave or what they think, you can always control how you act. This principle is not only liberating but also profoundly empowering, as it places the reins of your life squarely in your hands. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of virtue, living a life aligned with your highest values, as the ultimate measure of success. When you focus on cultivating virtue in your daily actions, you detach from the chaos of external events and ground yourself in something unshakable, your own character. This practice allows you to remain steady, even in the face of criticism, insults, or challenging circumstances. For instance, imagine a situation where someone insults or criticizes you, perhaps unfairly. Your instinctive reaction might be to feel hurt, angry, or defensive. But what if, instead of reacting impulsively, you chose to focus solely on your own response? By approaching the situation with calmness and clarity, you remind yourself that your virtue and self-control are all that matter. The behavior of others, while unpleasant, is ultimately outside your control. This mental shift not only helps you detach emotionally, but also strengthens your resilience, allowing you to respond with dignity and grace. This principle of focusing on your actions is at the heart of self-mastery. It challenges you to act in accordance with your values, regardless of the circumstances. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This means that your well-being is rooted not in external events, but in how you choose to perceive and respond to them. To truly internalize this mindset, consider the following question: how much time do you spend worrying about things beyond your control? Most of us invest significant mental and emotional energy in trying to influence outcomes or opinions that are not ours to dictate. This effort not only depletes us but also distracts us from what really matters: our own growth, our choices, and our virtues. By redirecting that energy toward our actions and values, we take back control over our lives. A simple but effective exercise to cultivate this mindset is journaling. At the end of each day, reflect on your actions and ask yourself, What did I do today that reflects my highest ideals? How did I handle challenging situations? Were there moments where I allowed external circumstances to dictate my emotions? By journaling, you create a habit of self-awareness that reinforces self-discipline and fosters personal growth. Over time, this practice becomes a powerful tool for recognizing patterns in your behavior and identifying areas where you can improve. Another way to practice this principle is by setting daily intentions focused on virtue. For example, decide each morning to act with patience, kindness, or integrity, regardless of the challenges you face. Throughout the day, check in with yourself. Are your actions aligned with these intentions? This deliberate focus not only helps you maintain emotional balance, but also builds a sense of accomplishment as you live in harmony with your values. An important aspect of this practice is learning to separate yourself from the opinions of others. When you prioritize your own actions and virtue over external validation or judgment, you free yourself from the emotional turmoil caused by the opinions of others. You begin to see that their behavior is often a reflection of their own struggles, not of your worth. This perspective allows you to respond to criticism with empathy instead of anger, further deepening your self-mastery. For example, if a colleague undermines you at work or a friend criticizes a decision you've made, instead of reacting defensively, pause and consider, does their opinion truly reflect who I am, or is it more about their perspective? This shift in focus from external judgment to internal values empowers you to act with confidence and integrity, regardless of the circumstances. Another practice that complements this principle is focusing on incremental growth. Virtue is not a destination, it's a continuous process. Each day presents new opportunities to act in alignment with your values, and each small victory strengthens your character. Celebrate these moments of progress, no matter how minor they may seem. They serve as reminders that true fulfillment comes not from external success, but from living authentically according to your principles. Ultimately, focusing on your actions and virtues creates a foundation for a life of inner peace and strength. This practice aligns with the Stoic belief that happiness and fulfillment are not found in external circumstances, but in the quality of your thoughts and actions. When you ground yourself in virtue, you cultivate resilience, self-discipline, and a sense of purpose that no external event can shake. By committing to this Stoic practice, you align yourself with what truly matters and develop the resilience to navigate life's uncertainties with confidence. You become unshaken by the opinions or actions of others, finding strength and clarity within yourself. Let this principle guide you as you take control of your emotions, deepen your self-discipline, and build a life rooted in purpose and clarity. Principle 3. Reframe your perspective. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of perception in shaping our emotional experiences. Stoicism teaches that while we can't always control external events, we can control how we perceive them. This simple shift in perspective is a game changer when it comes to overcoming emotional turmoil and letting go of past hurts. By reframing your thoughts, you can transform negative emotions into opportunities for growth and personal strength. One of the most liberating aspects of reframing is understanding that our emotional responses are not dictated by events themselves, but by how we interpret those events. In his meditation, Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your judgment about it. This profound insight reveals that emotional freedom is a choice, a skill we can cultivate by challenging our initial perceptions and seeking alternative viewpoints. For example, let's say someone you care about disappoints you. The initial emotional response might be anger, sadness, or frustration. But instead of reacting impulsively, ask yourself, what if this situation is an opportunity for growth? What can I learn from this? Reframing doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring your feelings. It means choosing to view the situation from a different, more constructive angle. Perhaps their actions aren't about you at all, but reflect their own struggles or insecurities. Seeing it this way not only helps you detach emotionally, but also cultivates empathy and reduces unnecessary pain. Another example of reframing can be found in setbacks or failures. Instead of labeling a failure as a personal defeat, consider it a stepping stone toward progress. Ask yourself, what does this teach me? How can I use this experience to become better? Adopting this perspective can transform moments of despair into valuable lessons that enhance your resilience and mental fortitude. Reframing failure in this way doesn't diminish its difficulty, but repositions it as a catalyst for growth, pushing you toward new insights and possibilities. A great exercise to practice reframing is mindful reflection. When faced with a setback or a painful experience, pause and ask yourself, how can I turn this into something positive? How can I grow from this? Journaling can be an effective tool for this process. Write about a challenging situation and explore different ways to interpret it. For example, instead of viewing a rejection as a sign of inadequacy, see it as an opportunity to pursue something better aligned with your goals. Over time, this habit of reframing will help you build emotional intelligence through Stoicism, turning every challenge into an opportunity for growth. Reframing also allows you to see obstacles as part of a larger journey. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This Stoic principle teaches us that the very things we perceive as barriers can often lead us to unexpected opportunities. Obstacles challenge us to adapt, innovate, and grow in ways we might never have considered. By embracing this mindset, you not only overcome difficulties but also thrive because of them. To deepen your practice of reframing, cultivate gratitude alongside it. Even in challenging moments, look for reasons to be thankful. Perhaps a difficult experience taught you patience, or a painful relationship helped you define your boundaries. Gratitude doesn't erase hardship, but it shifts your focus toward the lessons and growth that hardship brings. This combination of reframing and gratitude can transform even the most difficult circumstances into meaningful experiences. One practical way to blend reframing and gratitude is to keep a challenge journal. In this journal, document the setbacks or frustrations you face each week. For each entry, write down not only how you might reframe the situation, but also what you can be grateful for within it. For example, if you had a disagreement with a colleague, you might reframe it as an opportunity to improve communication. Then, express gratitude for the chance to address and strengthen your working relationship. Over time, this practice will rewire your thought pattern, helping you naturally see the positive aspects of challenging situations. Reframing also fosters emotional detachment, which is key to maintaining inner peace. Instead of personalizing every challenge or negative experience, you learn to see them as neutral events shaped by your interpretation. For instance, imagine being stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. Rather than stewing in frustration, reframe the situation. Use the time to mentally prepare for the meeting, listen to an inspiring podcast, or simply practice patience. This shift in perspective transforms an otherwise stressful moment into a productive or even peaceful one. By consistently practicing reframing, you align with one of the core tenets of Stoicism, that our minds are the most powerful tools we have. No matter what life throws at us, we have the ability to interpret it in a way that serves our growth and well-being. As you develop this skill, you'll notice that reframing doesn't just reduce emotional turmoil, it also deepens your capacity for empathy, creativity, and problem-solving. Reframing doesn't mean denying the reality of hardship. It means choosing to approach it with a mindset that fosters growth rather than despair. It's about asking, how can this challenge serve me, instead of lamenting, why did this happen to me? By adopting this perspective, you take control of your narrative and become an active participant in your journey, rather than a passive observer. When you practice reframing consistently, you'll find that you're not only more resilient, but also more at peace with life's inevitable ups and downs. You begin to see that every obstacle, no matter how daunting, carries within it the seed of an opportunity. By embracing this Stoic principle, you unlock the power to transform challenges into stepping stones for personal growth and fulfillment. Now that you've seen the power of changing your perspective, let's move on to Amor, Fati, a powerful Stoic practice of embracing whatever life throws your way. If you found these Stoic principles helpful, and are ready to apply them to overcome your emotions and leave the past behind, take a moment to show your support. Backhand index pointing right, like this video to let us know you're committed to mastering your emotions with Stoicism. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more life-changing insights that can help you build mental resilience and self-discipline. Backhand index pointing right, share this video with a friend who could benefit from learning how to let go and gain emotional freedom through Stoic wisdom. Let's spread this powerful knowledge. By subscribing, you're joining a community that is focused on personal growth and emotional mastery. Don't wait, start implementing these Stoic rules today and see the difference in your life. Principle 4. Embrace Amor Fati. Love your fate. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the practice of Amor Fati, which means love of fate. This concept, deeply embraced by Marcus Aurelius, encourages us to accept and even love everything that happens to us, whether it's good or bad. Instead of resisting life's challenges, we learn to embrace them as necessary parts of our journey. This mindset frees us from the emotional turmoil of wishing things were different, allowing us to move forward with clarity and mental resilience. At its core, Amor Fati is about recognizing that every experience, no matter how painful or difficult, has a purpose in shaping who we are. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" This Stoic perspective teaches us that everything we encounter, even the hardships, is part of a larger tapestry that contributes to our growth and understanding of life. When life throws curveballs, whether it's the end of a relationship, a missed opportunity, or an unexpected setback, it's easy to fall into frustration or regret. But Amor Fati teaches us to see these events not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. By accepting life exactly as it is, we stop resisting what we cannot change and instead focus on how we can make the most of it. Imagine losing a job you loved. While the initial reaction might be fear or despair, Amor Fati encourages you to look beyond the immediate pain and ask, "What can this teach me? How can I use this experience to grow?" One of the most liberating aspects of Amor Fati is the freedom it brings from the what-if mindset. Often, we dwell on alternate realities. What if I had taken that job? What if I hadn't made that mistake? What if things had turned out differently? This fixation on hypothetical scenarios only deepens our dissatisfaction. By embracing Amor Fati, we accept that the reality we face is the only one we need. The past cannot be undone, but it can serve as a foundation for building a better future. This practice also transforms how we view adversity. Instead of seeing challenges as punishments or misfortunes, we begin to see them as integral to our personal journey. If a relationship ends, for instance, Amor Fati invites us to view the experience not as a loss, but as an opportunity to better understand ourselves, our needs, and our capacity for resilience. Every difficulty becomes a teacher, showing us where we can grow and how we can improve. To internalize this mindset, a practical way to apply Amor Fati in your daily life is through journaling. Reflect on a challenging situation and write down how you can embrace it. Ask yourself questions like, how does this contribute to my growth? What lessons does it offer? How can I make the most of it? Over time, this practice helps you reframe hardships as necessary steps in your personal evolution. You'll find that you not only accept life's difficulties, but also learn to love them for the wisdom they provide. Another exercise is to practice gratitude for your challenges. Each evening, write down one difficulty you faced that day and list 3 reasons why it was beneficial. For example, if you had an argument with a friend, you might recognize that it taught you patience, clarified your boundaries, or deepened your understanding of your relationship. This habit fosters a mindset of appreciation, even for life's struggles, and aligns your thoughts with the principles of Amor Fati. An additional way to embrace Amor Fati is to view each day as a new opportunity to practice acceptance. Life often presents unexpected events, whether they're minor inconveniences or major disruptions. If you miss a bus, for instance, instead of fuming about the delay, ask yourself how you can make the most of the extra time. Perhaps it's an opportunity to enjoy a few moments of stillness or reflect on your goals. These small moments of acceptance build the foundation for greater resilience over time. It's important to note that Amor Fati isn't about passive resignation or accepting mistreatment. It's about loving the process of life, with all its ups and downs, while actively engaging with it. This practice teaches us to meet challenges head-on, not with resistance or despair, but with courage and acceptance. By doing so, we gain the clarity and strength needed to navigate life's uncertainties. This mindset also strengthens your ability to remain present. When you embrace Amor Fati, you stop yearning for a different past or fearing an unknown future. Instead, you ground yourself in the present moment, fully accepting it as it is. This presence allows you to act with intention and focus, unburdened by regret or anxiety. Marcus Aurelius' teachings remind us that the hardships we face are not obstacles to our destiny, but part of it. As he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight encapsulates the essence of Amor Fati, the idea that the challenges we encounter are not roadblocks, but stepping stones that propel us forward. By embracing Amor Fati, you cultivate a mindset of resilience and adaptability. Life will always be unpredictable, and hardships are inevitable. But when you learn to see every experience as a necessary part of your journey, you gain a profound sense of peace. You stop resisting what is and start thriving within it. Ultimately, Amor Fati is a practice of deep acceptance and love for life as it unfolds. It empowers you to let go of what you cannot change and focus on what you can: your attitude, your actions, and your growth. Through this Stoic principle, you discover the beauty in life's imperfections and the strength to embrace your fate with open arms. Now, let's explore how voluntary discomfort, another powerful Stoic practice, can further strengthen your emotional endurance and resilience. Principle 5. Practice voluntary discomfort. In Stoic philosophy, voluntary discomfort is a practice that builds emotional and mental toughness by intentionally placing ourselves in uncomfortable situations. Marcus Aurelius believed that by deliberately stepping out of our comfort zones, we can cultivate resilience and develop the strength to face life's inevitable challenges with composure and emotional control. This practice is a powerful tool for detaching from immediate gratification and embracing discomfort as a source of growth. At its core, voluntary discomfort is about choosing short-term challenges to prepare for long-term resilience. Life is unpredictable, and difficulties will inevitably arise. By exposing ourselves to controlled discomfort, we learn to face life's hardships with a calm and steady mind. Stoics understood that avoiding discomfort only makes us more vulnerable to adversity, while deliberately embracing it strengthens our capacity to endure and thrive. Imagine choosing to wake up early each morning, even when you're tempted to sleep in. It's not because you have to, but because you want to strengthen your willpower and develop self-discipline. Or, think about skipping a meal intentionally to remind yourself that you don't need external comforts to feel fulfilled. These small acts of discomfort might seem trivial, but they build the emotional endurance needed to handle bigger challenges with grace and calmness. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of fortifying the mind and body through intentional effort. He believed that by exposing ourselves to discomfort, we could train our minds to remain unshaken by life's uncertainties. For example, when facing criticism or setbacks, the Stoic-trained mind doesn't crumble, but instead sees the situation as an opportunity to practice patience, humility, or perseverance. To begin practicing voluntary discomfort, start small. Incorporate manageable challenges into your daily routine. For instance, take a cold shower in the morning, even if it feels unpleasant. The act of enduring discomfort without giving in to resistance builds discipline. Similarly, try spending a day without checking your phone or avoiding social media. While these actions may seem unrelated to major life challenges, they teach you to resist the pull of instant gratification and to focus on what truly matters. Physical challenges are another excellent way to practice voluntary discomfort. Exercise, for instance, pushes your body and mind beyond their comfort zones. Running an extra mile, lifting heavier weights, or even trying a physically demanding activity like hiking trains not just your muscles, but also your mental resilience. When you push through physical discomfort, you remind yourself that you're capable of enduring more than you think. In addition to physical challenges, emotional and mental discomfort can be equally powerful areas to explore. For example, have a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, or deliberately place yourself in situations that require vulnerability, like asking for help or admitting a mistake. These experiences, though uncomfortable, foster emotional growth and deepen your self-awareness. Voluntary discomfort also helps reframe your relationship with fear. Many of the things we avoid, failure, rejection, uncertainty, are rooted in fear. By willingly confronting these fears in small, controlled ways, you build the courage to face them in larger contexts. For instance, if you fear public speaking, start by speaking in front of a small, supportive group. Gradually increase the stakes as your confidence grows. A transformative aspect of voluntary discomfort is how it alters your perception of comfort itself. The comforts we often take for granted, like a warm meal, a safe home, or a kind word, become more meaningful when we occasionally go without them. Imagine fasting for a day, and then enjoying your next meal with a heightened sense of gratitude. These practices don't just make you more resilient, they deepen your appreciation for life's simple pleasures. Journaling is a helpful tool for reflecting on your practice of voluntary discomfort. At the end of each day, write about the challenges you intentionally faced and how they affected you. What did you learn about yourself? How did you handle the discomfort? Over time, this habit will deepen your understanding of your resilience and provide insights into areas where you can continue to grow. For example, you might write about a day when you chose to take the stairs instead of the elevator, or a moment when you resisted the urge to check your phone during a meal. These small victories build upon each other, strengthening your mental and emotional endurance incrementally. It's important to remember that voluntary discomfort isn't about punishing yourself or seeking out hardship for its own sake. Rather, it's about preparing yourself for the inevitable difficulties of life by cultivating strength, discipline, and perspective. By choosing discomfort in small, controlled ways, you build the mental and emotional tools needed to face larger challenges with confidence and grace. This practice also ties closely to the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within your control. While life's hardships are often beyond our power, our response to them is not. Voluntary discomfort reminds us that we always have the choice to embrace challenges with courage and composure. Ultimately, voluntary discomfort is a practice of empowerment. It shifts your mindset from one of avoidance to one of courage. You learn to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to test your limits and grow stronger. Each act of discomfort becomes a reminder that you have control over your actions, even when circumstances are beyond your control. By consistently practicing voluntary discomfort, you align yourself with the Stoic goal of living a life rooted in virtue, strength, and resilience. You'll no longer fear discomfort, but embrace it as a necessary and valuable part of your journey. In doing so, you prepare yourself to face life's uncertainties with grace, adaptability, and confidence. Now that you've started building emotional resilience through voluntary discomfort, you are ready to apply these Stoic teachings in every aspect of your life. Now that you have the 5 Stoic rules from Marcus Aurelius, it's time to put them into practice. These principles aren't just philosophical concepts, they are tools to help you break free from emotional attachments and gain control over your reactions. By applying these rules, you can start making lasting changes in your life today, building emotional resilience, and freeing yourself from the chains of past experiences. What's the one rule you're going to apply first? Leave a comment below, and let us know how you plan to implement Stoic teachings in your life. I'd love to hear your thoughts and how these principles help you on your journey. Before you go, backhand index pointing right, like this video if you found it valuable. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe to the channel for more insights on Stoicism, emotional control, and mental resilience. backhand index pointing right. Share this video with someone who could benefit from learning how to let go and master their emotions using Stoic wisdom.